Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Marcel Family School of Education's 2023 Spring Commencement Ceremony. I am Elizabeth Burr-Moji, and I have the great honor and privilege of serving as the school's dean. I would like you to now invite you to now join the Vision Detroit School of Arts Men's Ensemble conducted by Julian Goods as they lead us in singing the Star-Spangled Banner and Lift Every Voice and Sing. Please remain standing. Oh, or stand up.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet
Please be seated and join me in thanking our wonderful men of Vision. The Vision Men's Ensemble is a tremendously talented choir of students from the Detroit School of Arts. I have had the pleasure of working with the faculty and students at DSA through the partnership between our two schools for 13 years. We're here today to celebrate the spring 2023 graduates of the University of Michigan's Marcel Family School of Education class. And while we are here to honor you, our graduates, I would like also to recognize our guests who are here today to support you as they have throughout your education. In the audience today are the parents, spouses, partners, children, relatives, friends, mentors, and attending and mentor teachers of our graduates. Thank you for all you have done for them. We celebrate you today as well. I would also like to acknowledge the special guests in our platform party. These people who you see on the stage are valued advisors, partners, and supporters of our school and our students. They include members of our Dean's Advisory Council and education leaders from Detroit, Ypsilanti, Ann Arbor, and throughout the state of Michigan. I encourage you to read more about these individuals in our commencement program, because if I took the time to tell you all about them, we'd be here the rest of the evening. They're so amazing. And finally, seated on both sides behind me are my incredible colleagues, the current faculty members of Marcel Education. I'd like to ask my colleagues to please rise. I ask you to join me in thanking them for all they have done to help our graduates reach this important milestone. Now I would like to recognize the members of our community who received Marcel Education Awards. First, we have the Pat Natale Staff Award for Excellence recipient, Jeannie Lobenthal. Jeannie, please rise. Where are you? There you are. Jeannie Lobenthal. And we have the Diversity, Inclusion, Justice, and Equity Award recipients, Katie Robertson, Mariela Ortiz Reyes, and Anna Almore. And if they're here, they should stand. Please join me in honoring them for all their contributions. We're so lucky to have amazing staff, faculty, and students who work to make Marcel Education the strong school that it is. Now I invite Vice Provost for Equity and Inclusion and Chief Diversity Officer, Dr. Tabby Chavis, to the podium.
Good evening, everyone. All right. We're still here. Call and response. I'm from the South. Thank you, Dean Moji. I'm incredibly honored to be here to share in recognizing and celebrating our graduates, and couldn't be more pleased to be here in community with you, the graduates, along with your families, friends, and support networks. Graduates, we are celebrating your academic achievements as well as your growth as individuals. When you came to the University of Michigan, each of you began to explore what drives you, what you are passionate about, and where you wanted to make your impacts in the world. As I stand here today, I can't even fully express my excitement for all of the ways that you have and will continue to be practitioners, policymakers, and policy impactors, and researchers that our world needs, and that you will forever be ambassadors of the University of Michigan and Marcel Family School of Education, locally, nationally, and internationally. In her text, Teaching to Transgress, Education as the Practice of Freedom, scholar and educator Bell Hooks asserts that, quote, "The classroom remains the most radical space of possibility for different futures." Now more than ever, our nation and world needs leaders who can develop and implement evidence-informed policy and practices in the pursuit of more diverse, equitable, and inclusive and excellent educational environments for our students. We need leaders who are courageous and committed to developing more effective and socially just systems of education, even in the face of resistance. For instance, those who question the value of certain fields, disciplines, and topics. Those who seek to eliminate teaching and learning around systemic processes of race, social class, gender identity, and sexual orientation. Those who minimize the value of historical analysis and scientific evidence. We need leaders who are skilled and reflective, and who act with deliberateness and thoughtfulness in advancing knowledge and combating misinformation. As graduates of the University of Michigan, you are part of a long legacy of alumni who have promoted and embodied diversity, inclusion, justice, and equity. To be sure, our alumni have been leader practitioners in the classroom and in the community. They have been called upon at local and national levels to lead and collaborate in efforts that address some of our most pressing societal issues. When you also find yourself doing this work, and you are, and I know you will continue to, it may at times feel daunting and impossible. Moments of doubt are inevitable in life, especially as we work against huge and long-standing social and structural challenges and inequalities. But the reality is, you are prepared for what lies ahead. You have cultivated the tools to be great scholars and practitioners and community citizens, and I have no doubt that you will become the change you hope to see in the world. You have worked hard to get here and should be proud of everything you've accomplished. I wish you all the best in the next steps of your journey and look forward to seeing all of your positive impacts in the years ahead. So congratulations to each of you, with gratitude to all of those who supported you along the way. And of course, forever, go blue.
Thank you so much, Vice Provost Chavis. Next, I'm delighted to invite our student speaker, Abby Bekins, to address her fellow graduates. Sorry, Abby Bekins.
Good evening, everyone. So, if your soul is on fire to serve in a way that scares you to death, and you don't feel worthy, ready, able, congratulations, you have your calling. These words from Dr. Jaya John resonate with me deeply as a member of the Marcel Family School of Education, and I'm sure that many of you may feel reflected in those words. I feel the weight of responsibility that comes with shaping young minds and preparing them for the future. Yet, I'm also exhilarated to be a small part of this vital profession. Education itself is something that we cannot take for granted. And I do not feel like I would ever feel worthy of or be in charge of, if I can be completely honest with you. Education is the backbone of our lives, and I am truly honored to be entering the secondary field this fall. During my time in the Marcel Family School of Education, I learned not just how to teach content, but how to help students blossom into the very best versions of themselves. Our professors and instructors consistently encouraged us to think beyond ourselves, to incorporate the community into our classrooms. Through this, we can provide for students no matter who they are, where they come from, or where they go, because everyone has a place in education. Even more so, we can inspire our students to also give back to their communities. As a society, we cannot afford to continue a cycle of hatred, and although they are not core subjects, love and empathy must always be taught in every classroom. The future will always be in the hands of the students. Consequently, education must teach those students to question the world around them. It must inspire innovation that is cognizant of every individual. And speaking of communities, my cohort is one that I am so honored to be a part of. At the end of our fall semester, our field instructor, Martis Learman, had us meet at the famous Ann Arbor bar, Good Time Charlie's, instead of class. Although I have been surrounded by these students for over a year at that point in various classrooms and practicum placements, that evening I felt a true cement in our bond and our friendships. I could feel vast amounts of love and eagerness flowing throughout the restaurant and our conversations. We discussed different teaching philosophies, the highs and lows of our practicum placements, and what we hoped for in our final semester, which we are completing right now. We gave each other advice, but more importantly, we offered each other unconditional support. It was a wonderful time and a solid reminder that the future of education is in wonderful hands. And now, I also recognize that not everyone here is part of that field of education or my community. So I'm going to outline what education is and what it is not. Education is not just about earning good grades, but rather equipping our students with the proper skills and tools to go into the world. Education is not about what one can gain for themselves, but rather how one can give back to others. Education is not what you have, but the dreams you can achieve. Lastly, education is not only about curriculum, but rather these students. Developing rapport and relationships is vital, and one of the most important aspects that I have learned during my time at Michigan. As individuals, we may be able to complete a few tasks. We may even feel very successful, but together, we can help the future generations blaze their own trail, just as many of us have been granted the opportunity to do. As we move forward today, never take your education for granted. It's a gift that continues to give to you. It is your most important tool. It is how we can make the world a better place. So Wolverines, as you leave here today, continue to be lifelong learners. Continue to have open minds and open hearts. Continue to help others along the way. Continue to show the world what Go Blue means. Congratulations, class of 2023.
Thank you, Ms. Bekins. We are so proud of you. You did a wonderful job, and you're a wonderful individual and representative of your fellow students. Now, before I invite our commencement speaker, Dr. Tressie McMillan, Cottom, up to give the commencement address, I'd like to say just a few words to our graduates and their families. Families, I know that you are full of pride and love as you share this day with your graduates, celebrating their talents and dedication as they accept their hard-earned degree from this world-renowned School of Education. And I have to apologize, I'm a little emotional because my own daughter graduated today as well. Graduates, it's okay. Graduates, we too are proud of you and your many accomplishments and hope you will take pause to reflect on the many successes that have punctuated your journey to this stage. You have shown yourselves to be capable of incredible things as scholars, as education practitioners, and as human beings. The work you each have undertaken within our school, the university, and education contexts far and wide is proof that together you have the power to harness and guide the changes we want to create, that we must create in this world. You are graduating at a challenging moment in history. Our society, and as a result, education, have been disrupted these past several years by the pandemic, of course, but by so many social issues. And that pandemic has exacerbated long-standing educational, racial, gender, and socioeconomic inequities. We are only beginning to fully understand the negative impacts of these events, particularly on children, youth, and learning. And we are only understanding how to address them together. We might choose to see this disruption that we've all experienced as something that has happened to us and as something over which we have no control. However, in the body of graduates before me, I see disruptors, the good kind. You embrace deep and significant change because it is necessary for creating a new and positive beginning for our world. You understand that the most powerful lever for transforming our society and achieving political, racial, and environmental justice is education. And you are now equipped with the most innovative and evidence-based educational strategies, practices, research methods, and tools with which to lead that transformation. Now, regretfully, there's a misconception that our future is being and should be written by tech entrepreneurs, particularly as recent advancements in technology and especially artificial intelligence garner global attention. I've been told by some that we soon will not need teachers, because through AI, we will be able to personalize learning for every individual. I've been told that students will no longer really need to learn to write or to read or to calculate sums, because our robots will do all of this for us. Personally, I won't even let the robot in my car park the car. I've been told a lot of things, and I don't think that most people believe these sweeping statements. But I do believe that this post-Gutenberg revolution will be disruptive. The question is whether we, as educators, can harness the disruption and, drawing heavily on our commitments to diversity, inclusion, justice, and equity, make the kind of change that will make our world better for all people. Indeed, we are looking forward to a future that has great opportunity and great uncertainty, in which we need to embrace new technology tools and embrace them for good so that we can do good. But technology does not shape our future, people do, and educators are their guides. Education matters more than ever before, both in institutional contexts like schools and universities, and in informal contexts throughout our communities. Education is and will be the solution center for the immense challenges facing our social, environmental, health, political, and financial well-being. In our midst, all of you, we have an abundance of amazing people full of hope, optimism, and hunger for translating your learning into action. And in Marcel Education, we are proud to develop amazing, committed, anti-racist, social justice leaders who will shepherd all of us into this next era with confidence by making educational opportunities available for all. We can build a society in which everyone can thrive, but it can only be achieved by centering education and the preparation of exceptional teachers, leaders, researchers, and policy makers, such as our graduates we celebrate here today. And I know that the future of education will be in good hands as you go out and share your unique gifts in multiple ways. Even as you embark on this bright future, you are and always will be members of our community. You will always be in our minds and in our hearts. Congratulations, and of course, go blue. Now it is my honor to introduce our commencement speaker, award-winning writer, sociologist, and cultural critic, Dr. Tressie McMillan Cottom. She is an associate professor in the University of North Carolina School of Information and Library Science. And through her research, she engages in critical analysis of technology, higher education, class, race, and gender. It is a privilege to have her with us today. Welcome, Dr. McMillan Cottom.
Thank you so much to the dean, to the vice provost, the faculty for having me, and to Abby, who before we came downstairs had the nerve to say she was nervous. If those are nerves, may we all be nervous before we speak. Thank you very much, Abby, for that wonderful address. Another one, thank you. So congratulations, graduates. We cannot say that enough. I hope people say that to you all day and all week. I am thrilled to share this important ritual with you today. And it is an important ritual, a special ritual, and a joyful ritual. Rituals are social endeavors that bind communities together, and I adore them. I just adore them. I think we do not have enough of them, or at least not enough good ones, by the way. We have enough bad ones. I think we need more joyful rituals like this one. And speaking of communities, you did not get here alone. So congratulations to the people who took this journey with you. To those who are present, and to those who are not, to your families, to your friends, to your pets, to your plants, to your confidants, to your ancestors, to your secret nemesis. I think you have to thank your haters. Yeah, I do. They don't need to know, but to whomever motivated you to get this far, they all played a part in getting you here. And here is a very big deal. And let me tell you one reason why getting here is such a big deal. From this moment forward, your choices get better. They do. Up until now, most of your choices have been about getting you here to this moment. And that is because the people around you knew that this moment was vital to the rest of your life. That is why they have been worrying you to death from the moment you were born to get you here, because they knew that a lot was riding on getting you to this moment. But you know that, right? Because you all now have degrees in education. So for a host of reasons and with some challenges, one of America's great rituals is that graduating from college is the golden ticket to the good life, right? So to get here, you have often had to choose between what you would prefer to be doing and instead do what you knew would get you here. There's a lot of stuff you would rather have been doing in your life, right? Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that was a lot more enjoyable than what you did to get here, right? And not only did you then had to do what we call, opt out of enjoyable things to get here instead, you also had to develop some skills to help you discern the good, right choices that would get you here from the choices that were not going to get you here. Maybe, your mother would stand over you and say, you better learn how to make good choices, right? Make better choices. This is what they meant. Make the choices that would get you here. And because life is complicated and frankly unfair, some of us were born with a hand that was full of bad choices to start with. That's because for some of us, life deals a bad hand, full of not so good choices that have already been made for us. So if you are one of those people, by the way, and you were born with a pretty sucky hand and you made it here anyway, I want to say a special gold star to you, a special gold star. Yeah. But all of you, gold star or not, by virtue of getting here, have perfected the art and the science of making choices among some not so good choices. And now, almost none of that matters. All those skills that got you this far, because your new life as a shiny new graduate will ask you to almost start from scratch. Because from here on out, your choices get better. That's the good news. The challenging news is that because your choices from here on out get better, it gets harder to choose. I know. They said to make this inspiring, but I'm a sociologist and that's not really my specialty. If you want it inspiring, you book a preacher next time. All right, so the good news is, however, you did develop these skills, a couple skills while you were here. You know how to learn. You have, in the words of Zora Neale Hurston, the building blocks of formalized curiosity. That's what Zora called research. It's my favorite definition for research. She called it poking and prodding with purpose. And that's a powerful tool in the information economy, where people poke and prod a lot, but very rarely do they do it with purpose. And so now that you have that very powerful tool, you will be called upon to decide how and where and for whom you will swing your hammer. Will you go off to teach? Will you go to industry? Will you join the cool kids in one of those startups the dean was talking about and disrupt it all with an AI robot? Will you go back to a neighborhood nonprofit that saved you as a kid? Or will you change paths altogether and explore organic beet farming? For the record, I don't have a dog in the fight. As you get all of these shiny new choices, you may be tempted to call up some of your lovely professors and ask them for help in deciding. And I want to tell you, don't ask us. We stayed in school so we wouldn't have to choose. But that's the thing, you see. Calling up people stops working because all of those, they're great choices. They are, and therein lies your problem. You have just earned the power to choose any life you want, really, within reason, and you just became your own advisor. Congratulations on leveling up. Right? Yeah. So I wrote a big list of ways to choose among good choices, and then I realized I didn't have all day to give that list to you. So I've narrowed it down to three things. One is practical, one is praxis. Y'all are educated, y'all know that one, know that word. Got one practical, one praxis, and one philosophical. Now, the first one is practical. I think it's easy and hopefully very self-explanatory, and it is this. If you can help it, moving forward from this day, never go to a secret meeting. I know. You think there's like a whole big thing behind this. It's not. It's really just that simple. I'm not working on a metaphor here, people. Don't go to secret meetings. I mean a meeting with no agenda. Don't go to these. People will increasingly try to get you wrapped up in their plans by not telling you what their plan is. And they're gonna come to this meeting. Don't go to meetings without an agenda. I have never in my life seen a good choice hiding behind secrecy. Just telling you, never seen it. People who mean you well will tell you that they mean you well. They don't have to hide it. If they won't tell you the agenda, don't go. If you don't have a choice, like you gotta go because it's like part of your job or something, that happens, it's just real life, at least pack a snack. And take notes, it's gonna come in handy one day. All right, so that's the practical. Now let's move on to praxis. All right, so praxis, choosing among good choices. I find that it is helpful if you do not forget what it feels like to be stupid. You know, we spend a lot of time becoming smart. I think especially as educators. And what I hope for you is that you do not forget what it feels like to be stupid. Now, I want to add a little asterisk here. That is very different from being someone that other people assume is stupid. And I want to point out that if you are a woman or a person of color, or you speak with accented English, or you are constructed as other in a dozen other different ways, people might already assume you're stupid. I am not talking about that. That's their problem to solve, your burden to carry, but their problem to solve. I mean, I hope you take opportunities in life to tackle things that do not play to your strengths. That's what I hope for you. You know why? I hope you do that because our world is optimized right now for optimization. I have an Apple Watch, right? Like I suppose many of you do. I'm not wearing it today because it didn't go with the, you know what I mean? Didn't go with the look I was going for, you know, erudite or whatever, right? Um, but like my watch, it gives me all this real world data and feedback on things like my gait, so I can improve my daily walk, maximize the efficiency of my steps, and I'm sometimes wonder, like, to what end? Like, there's no Olympic category for middle-aged women who walk good, Like, what's my outcome here? It's kind of unclear, but that does not stop me from circling my kitchen island at 11:50 p.m. when my ring is almost closed, but not quite, right? And I can 129 steps to close my ring, right? Because closing, oh, it's just me? Y'all don't do that? Okay, or wave your arm like this? No, it's just me, okay. And I do that because closing that ring has become one of my strengths. I'm good at it, right? I've got a streak going, right? And I want to win because winners win, even when no one is looking, right? We have internalized the voice of efficiency and winning to such an extreme that we aren't just afraid of taking risks, which is one outcome of that culture, but we are afraid of even valuing things that we cannot win at. So we can't just take a walk, right? We have to hike. We can't play a game of horse to pass a Saturday afternoon. We got to join a league. And we can't just knit because it's kind of fun, We have to set up an Etsy shop for our fiber arts, And now all of those are lovely endeavors if it's what you want to do. But having an end goal for everything that you do has an unintended effect on your choices, on your vision, right? Because what starts to happen is the only thing you can now see are the things that you think you can win at doing. And the thing is, y'all, you're only human, right? You're not like Showtime, the guy who can pitch and hit, If you're lucky, you're gonna be good at one thing in life, and you'll be okay at a few others. And so if you only focus on the things that you can win at, over time, your life is gonna get really narrow. It's gonna get smaller and smaller. And one day you'll find that all your life is merging into traffic and making that one good roast chicken recipe you've perfected and running that really good regression that you got really good at in class and talking about that one good theory book that you mastered, right? And your life doesn't just get smaller and smaller, as sad as that would be. But when your vision gets smaller for yourself, your vision for other people gets smaller too. And y'all, you're educators. When your vision gets small, you pass that on to students. And you pass that on to other people. And their world gets smaller and smaller. So, you know what? I want you to risk doing things that you're not good at just because. I sing and I suck at it, and I think that's fine. Because you know what? As it turns out, there's no authority on that. No one shows up and says, hey, you can't sing, and takes away your right to sing. As it turns out, the authority really is just in your head, and you can evict them at any time. It is a paradox of being educated, that the more afraid of being stupid you are, the less educated you become. Go out there and be stupid at something. All right, so philosophically, gotta have a little philosophy of life. We've learned that as we've become educated here, right? So here's a philosophy for you to consider. I encourage you to think, yes, about the jobs for which you have been trained, like your families and your friends and your support networks. I absolutely want you to have jobs. But I hope you also think about the work for which you have been chosen. If you are fortunate, and I hope you will be, your job and your work may not always be the same thing. Your life will increasingly become about choosing between good choices that are about different paths in life. And optimizing won't help you choose between them, because optimizing for efficiency or winning will only make it harder to choose among options, because when all the options are good, every option looks like somebody's version of winning. That's why you need to know there's a difference between what you can do and what you are willing to do. You see, your job and your work will not always be the same, and only you can know the difference. Now, I won't tell you what to do. Believe it or not, I don't believe in giving advice. You are all grown now. You can make up your own minds. But I will tell you what I do. Once a year, I sit down and I write a job description for myself, for Tressie. If I was the one in charge of the world and I needed a me, how would I call me into being? Maybe you sit down this week or this month and you ask yourself, how would a higher power hire you? What would they have to say to call you up? Now, keep in mind that the creator of the universe, whatever you call the creator, does not care about your Apple Watch rings, does not care about your efficiency data, any of the stuff you use to quantify yourself, doesn't care about scale or growth. If you didn't use any of that stuff, how would you hire yourself? I think that's a useful thing to know, because as life goes on, you'll need to know what matters to yourself so that you can choose the things that matter most to you, when all the choices before you would be good choices for someone, even if they aren't all good choices for you. The good news is, as educators, I believe you have a head start on that description. Now, as a profession, we may disagree on a lot of particulars, but by virtue of choosing to be here, I believe we agree on a philosophy of life. As educators, we believe that who you are is not who you have to be. Let that be first and always the start of the work that you do, and I believe fundamentally that every good decision you make about a job, about a life choice, about when you want to be optimized, about when instead you want to be a little stupid, about when you should decline a secret meeting, about what your life's work should be, will make for a deep and wide and meaningful life for you. And I think at the end of the day, that's what serves your best and highest purpose, not just for you, but for your family and the people who got you here, for your students, and for the rest of us. So congratulations, class of 2020-23. I have no doubt that you are fine educators. I am proud to be your colleague. I look forward to the work, the life work that your futures hold. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Dr. McMillan Cottom. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. It is my great pleasure to recognize the Marcel Family School of Education degree candidates. Will the marshals please direct the minor in education for empowerment candidates, the secondary education candidates, and the elementary education candidates to the stage for individual recognition. As our candidates make their way to the stage, I will share a little about each group. The Education for Empowerment minor candidates have studied and completed capstone projects focused on the role of education in building our capacity to advance the aims of justice and democracy in society. The undergraduate secondary education candidates include those who are earning their Bachelor of Arts degrees in education, as well as those who are earning their teacher certification in secondary education. Through rigorous study and classroom teaching experiences, they have been prepared to teach grades 5 through 12. The undergraduate elementary education candidates are earning their Bachelor of Arts degrees in education and their teacher certification in elementary education. They are prepared to teach pre-kindergarten through 6th grade and, like our secondary candidates, have engaged in extensive classroom teaching experiences and rigorous study.
Eliza Joy Feinberg. Abby Lynn Bekins. Temilulua Usoff. Sophie Marie Hampton. Mackenzie Ryan McMahon. Claire Kowalik. Rose S. Abu Asali. Connor James Hardy. Constantine Suliotis. Hunter J. DeBelek. Lydia Jean Forehand. See you. Phaedra Lynn Naiman. Sarah Elizabeth Mazzoli. Olivia Christinger. Emily Jane Oberg. Douglas James McClure. Anna Marie Ebbett. Olivia Leona Brown. Alyssa Laux. Waris Abdul Salazar. Karis Clark. Janelle Ray Woods. Tashara Larry. Autumn Leigh Ellen Dutka. Jessica Rose Zimmer. Jacob Corey Hardy. Samuel R. Kane. Brianna Lucas. Sophia Suhee Kim. Oliver Barron. Anna Ruocco.
Aline Mustafa. Madeline Shea Mayer. Eleanor Bartman Kosher. Ashley Elizabeth Martin Borgie. Rachel Rose Dempsey. Marisa Mireya de la Cruz Martin. Lindsay Rose Marlin. Kaylee Marie Holman. Libby Nicole Price. William Innes Brendel. Sandra Denya Alasis. Rose Williamson. Danielle Lynn Wolf. Emmeline May Torposki. Chloe Skiana Tenbrink. Stephanie Faustina Molanen Belstik. Kayla Max Finn. Eileen Mary Kelly. Ivanice Nicole Velez. Emily Ann Bergstrom. Milena Ayat.
Yeah. Will the marshals please direct the secondary Master of Arts with Certification, or SECMAC, candidates and the elementary Master of Arts with Certification, or LMAC, to the stage for individual recognition. Again, I'll tell you a little bit about them while they gather. The elementary and secondary Master of Arts with Certification candidates have completed an intensive, and I mean intensive, one-year educator preparation master's degree. Like our undergraduates, their classroom teaching experiences began on day one of the program. However, they embarked on their journey in June, and we have a new group coming in soon. So these people have been at it for a whole year. Come on.
Essa McGregor Kerr. Caitlin Rose Nagy. Alexa Paige Coleman. Janine Renee Chouinard. Shelby Grace Benham. Devin Ray Harding. KJ Reese. Jamie Erdheim. Anika Joyce Patnaud. Aliana Unger. Molly Rose Barbara Powers. Cole Harris Nybauer. Christina Ann Lousy. Marcella Elizabeth Mick. Bailey Marie Van Brunt. Samantha Lee Leacher. Sarah Jane Thompson. Yang Lo. Xinwei Shu. Jessica Youngin Ko. Yvonne Lee. Skylar Shoreland Risecamp. Daniel Macca. Adelaide Marie Barcalow. Hallie Cameron Freed.
Amaya Carreras. Juliana Lenaf Kiley. Anna Underhill Denverno. Destiny Marie Sands. Emma Catherine Runk. Jessica Sarah Glinner. Emily Elizabeth Balanya. Kaisa Christine Johnson. Mei Ling Wang. Hope Alexandra Chase. Hannah Grace Slattery. Jordan Lemansky. Michelle Sheng. Juhaku Okugawa. Ariana Maishan Leismer. Rachel Euchre. Kristen Ali Mifsud. Elizabeth Bryson. Morgan L. Franks.
Will the marshals please direct the candidates for master's degrees in educational studies, educational leadership and policy, and higher education to the stage for individual recognition. Now, our educational studies master's candidates are prepared to advance positive change in pre-K through 12 education through numerous concentrations of study. Design and technologies for learning across culture and contexts, educational equity, justice, and social transformation, educational studies and business administration, and program evaluation and improvement research. Our educational leadership and policy master's candidates are prepared to improve schools, instruction, and K-12 students' educational outcomes by strengthening the professional knowledge base of educational leaders and policymakers. Our higher education master's candidates are prepared to advance positive change in post-secondary education through several concentrations. diversity and social justice, institutional research, higher education and business, higher education and public policy, and student access and success.
Queenie Gao. Xuan Cheng. Makoto Watanabe. Atsushi Kato. Estrella Salgado. Christopher Bresnow. Ashley Caroline Tran. Sky Kapanis Vaden. Maya V. Hunt. Yahuan Yi. Meg Ward. Wenkang Zhang. Sarah Mercedes Birch. Darian Rachel D'Antuano. Kaylee Rose Respecki. Anya Lukasinski. Gina Lee Ceccarelli. Brandon Luciano Persico. Harmeet Kaur Sayane. Andrea Beeman. Hyunjong Park. Rebecca Jean Weiland. Radiat Mersha.
Antoine Featherstone. Claire Alice Brown. Natalie Drobny. Rachel Erin Taylor.
And finally, will the marshals please direct the candidates for doctoral degrees to the stage? So, all that cheering is because doctoral preparation requires approximately 5 years of rigorous study, cultivating a carefully crafted book-length report of the findings of research, an undertaking that requires significant perseverance and commitment. Each of these individuals who is about to walk across the stage has dedicated a lifetime to education, practice, research, and innovation. Please welcome our candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy in Education. I should note that any candidate who completed all their degree requirements, it had to be every last thing, by April 1st will be hooded, but all of them are doctors now. So congratulations to them. Yeah, let's do it. And their professors who advise them are the people who do the hooding, just so you know what's going on up here.
Kamaria B. Porter. Selena Perez Beverly. Amanda Weissman. Megan Garver. Michael J. Hoffman. Rachel Mallerman Gordon. Nathan E. Bauer. Suji Kim. Nina Hernandez Garcia. Paulina Irene Aganas Fraser.
Now, as soon as Dr. Fraser gets to her seat, I would like to invite all of our graduates from all the programs to stand. Yep, go ahead. You don't really have to wait for her. She might be back there hugging her family for a long time. All right. Now, you may have done this morning if you attended the Big House commencement. So if you already moved your tassel, put it back on the right, and move your tassels from the right side to the left. You are now graduates. Good. On behalf of the faculty at the Marcel Family School of Education and the Board of Regents of the University of Michigan, I congratulate each of you on your graduation. I am very proud to welcome you as lifelong alumni of Marcel Education. And now I ask you to be seated while we hear one more piece from our wonderful men of vision. And think of this as a tribute to all you've accomplished.
When the waves roll over the waters and the ocean cries, we look to our sons and daughters to explain our lives. As if a child could tell us why, as sure as the sunrise, sure as the sea, sure as the wind in the trees, we rise again in the faces of our children. We rise again in the voices of our song. We rise again in the waves out on the ocean. And then we rise again. When the light goes dark and the forces of creation across a stormy sky, we look to reincarnation to explain our lives. As if a child could tell us why, that as sure as the sunrise, sure as the sea, sure as the wind in the trees, we rise again in the faces of our children. We rise again in the voices of our song. We rise again in the waves out on the ocean. And then we rise again. We rise again in the faces of our children. We rise again in the voices of our song. We rise again in the waves out on the ocean. And then we rise again. We rise again in the faces of our children. We rise again in the voices of our song. We rise again in the waves out on the ocean. And then we rise again. And then we rise
Thank you for that inspiring piece, gentlemen. You inspire me every time you're here. I love you. Now, they're not leaving us. You notice they're standing there ready to lead you. I would like to invite you all to stand and sing with the Vision Men's Ensemble, right guys? As they lead us in singing both the alma mater and the victors. Now I want to emphasize that they're leading us. Your words should be in your program if you don't remember the words. Please sing along, and you can kind of, sway back and forth as they modeled for us. Gentlemen?
Yellow the fields where ripens the grain, and yellow the moon on the harvest wain. Hail to the colors that float in the light, hurrah for the yellow and
Please be seated. Thank you again, Men of Vision. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this important day. Guests, please remain at your seats until all of the platform guests and graduates have left the auditorium. Once we exit, the celebration will continue outside on the Ingalls Mall. That's to my left. So go out the doors, turn left, and we invite you all to join us. On behalf of the faculty and staff at the Marcel Family School of Education, it has been a privilege to teach all of you, to work with you, and to learn from you during your time in our school. You will remain a part of our community forever as alumni, and we look forward to hearing about your adventures and accomplishments. Congratulations, best wishes, and forever, go blue.